So these are our overall diversity plan goals. Starting in the top left-hand corner, teacher hiring and retention, that's going to be our first goal. Our second is going to be professional development for current staff regarding diversity and equity in the schools. The next is going to be implementation of staff and a student diversity team. The next goal will be our overall curriculum, not just in the classroom, but our curriculum throughout the school. We have academic intervention, and then our last one is going to be parental communication and community involvement in our school. So those are our overall diversity plan goals, and we're going to break them down as we go through this. So goal one, so teacher hiring and retention. So starting at the top, the first kind of plan here with this is going to be working with colleges and communities throughout the state, all right? Because future teachers are going to be coming out of these colleges. We want to work with these colleges and communities that are made up of diverse populations. So we're going to have better possibilities of getting teachers of color if we do that. The next part of this goal is going to be training administrators to basically be more open-minded and give them skills in the hiring process while they're trying to hire teachers on the upcoming school year if they have to fill spots. But this will better prepare them to hire a more diverse staff. The next part of this is going to be doing yearly surveys for parents and communities regarding basically how they feel about the diversity of our staff. Asking questions of, do we need more teachers of color? Just getting a general understanding of how our community and parents feel. The last part here is just having a better evaluation process of monitoring and evaluating our teachers and trying to retain these teachers of colors in our school. All right, so that is teacher hiring and retention. Now, goal two, professional development for our current staff regarding diversity and equity in our school. So at the top, we want to have more professional development for all of our staff to basically better prepare them to deal with diversity and equity and just a balance in their classroom. So we want to provide them with learning opportunities to be able to better suit the needs of all students. Next, we have professional development to help improve inclusion in our classroom. So in most of our classrooms, we have special needs students, kids with disabilities or handicaps, and we want to make sure they are included as much as possible in our classroom, in our day in and day out days in the class. So we want to make sure our inclusion is up to par there. Last, we want to have surveys for teachers about diversity. And basically what we're talking about here is we just want to get an idea of how comfortable is our staff, what does our staff know about diversity and equity in our classrooms. So these are all parts of the plan for goal number two. Now moving on to goal number three, implementation of staff and student diversity. All right, we want to have a team for that. So up top, we want to have a diversity team made up of our school staff. Basically, this team is created to basically go ahead and go around the school and monitor diversity in our school and make sure we have a well-balanced mix of it in our school with our student population. All right. Also, we're going to have a group of diverse students ranging from all grade levels. So what we want to do is we want to have our diverse staff, okay, that's made up of teachers of color. We also want to have a team made up of students of diversity, going from 7th grade to 12th grade. And yearly, at the end of each year, we want to have this student team meet with our staff team to discuss topics that can be improved on the upcoming school year. Now, our school staff team will meet each semester, all right? And then at the end of the year, they will meet with that student team so we can better meet the needs of our diverse student population. Also, we want to send out surveys that are created by our team and diversity student team to receive feedback from our general population in our school on how they feel about equity and diversity so we can get ideas from actual students as well. Now, so that's goal three, our diversity teams. Goal four is our curriculum. Now, with our curriculum, we want to evaluate our current curriculum and basically make sure we're doing a good job of having a mix of different cultures and diversity and equity in each and every classroom. We want to make sure we're providing opportunities for multicultural in each classroom. We want to have, our second point here, more displays of different races and ethnicities and genders throughout the school. We want to have posters, signs. We want to have a well-balanced mix throughout our schools so our student population can see all the different cultures around the world. Also, we want to assess our textbooks. It's typical that we can have textbooks that are very gender biased and also not as diverse as they need to be. So we want to assess our textbooks and make sure they're meeting the needs of our students and be very well-rounded. Next, we even want to take more field trips that promote multicultural and diversity. Open up more opportunities to see a well-rounded mix for our diverse student population. Also, extracurricular activities. Sometimes it's overlooked, but typically there will be more opportunities for male students in extracurricular activities. So we want to assess that and make sure that all genders or how students identify themselves and different socioeconomic students are being represented and having a fair shot. So that was goal 4, looking over our curriculum. Now, number 5. Now, we're not quite to goal number 5, but I want to point out some statistics here. So this table is overall composite scores for juniors on the ACT over the last few years. Now, as you look at this, these are for 2016 through 2019. We have Black, African American, white, and Hispanic. These numbers represent the overall composite scores that these students made. And as you can tell by looking at the table, our Black African American students and our Hispanic students are fairly behind the white students. So that's a little bit troubling. So we want to make sure we're doing what we can, and we're going to talk about that with goal 5, a way that we could possibly help this. Now, this is some more numbers that's pretty interesting. So these numbers represent college benchmark scores that also is gathered from the ACT. Now, college readiness benchmark scores as we look down here. So what they are a minimum score, all right, needed on an ACT subject to show a 75% chance of making a C or better. Now, it also shows a 50% chance, and I didn't put this on here, but it shows a 50% chance of making a B or better, and basically a credit-bearing subject that's related to English, math, reading, science, all of those in college. So it gives a pretty good idea. Now, as you can see, for instance, English percentage, Black African Americans. So 23% of Black African Americans are making a college benchmark score. Now, if you go all the way, we have math, reading, science, and all 4. Only 4% of our Black African American students are making a college benchmark score across the board in all 4. If you look at our white students, 20%. We don't have any Hispanic students, all right, that are passing or making a benchmark score in all 4. So these are some kind of alarming numbers, and I wanted to show these numbers because it's going to lead into our 5th goal here. So our 5th goal is academic intervention. Now, we want to implement a core intervention team to help provide further support for all students regardless of race, gender, or disability. So basically, we're going to create a team made up of our diverse teachers in our school, as well as students. We want to have a diverse group of students as peer helpers that can help during this time. All right, so what's going to make the qualifications for this? So students with a grade of a C or above, they can have the opportunity. They don't have to do this intervention, but they can have an opportunity if they want to get more tutoring or intervention help. Now, students that have a D or below, they will need to and be required to go to these intervention meetings, whether they be after school for extra help or during the class day or the school day at school. But I really feel that this will help provide the support for especially our minority students that are, by the statistics, showing that they need some extra help. So this was our fifth goal, creating a intervention team made up of our staff and students. Now, our last goal, parental communication and community involvement. We want to have our parents involved, and we want to have our community involved. So we want to have open meetings at the school every 9 weeks. We have 4 9-week grading periods. And at the end of each, we want to have open meetings that parents can come to our school and talk with our teachers and our administrators, or just listen to announcements. We want to have this to help improve communication with our parents. So if they have any questions, we can give them direct feedback. And if they need any help with the guidance on how to help their kids at home, we can better prepare them to be able to do that. We also, at these meetings, want to have representatives that will be available to help with communication. We know we have a high population, a high Hispanic population in our schools, so we want to provide, we don't want to have any problems with communication, so we want to have someone there that can communicate, speak Spanish or any language that we need to, so that their needs are met as well. So that will also go right into our third point here. Any school announcements. We make school announcements through telephone messages or cell phone messages. We don't want any kind of communication breakdown, so we want to have those messages in English and Spanish for all of our students. And we also, our last point here is we want to have more events and signs and interactions with our community to let them know what's going on, and it's going to help promote diversity in our school and our community. Now, to sum all of this up, these were all of our goals, our 6 goals for our strategic diversity plan. It's not perfect. Things will have to be monitored every year. All of these would have to be checked every semester or checked at the end of every year, and probably adjustments are going to have to make. But I feel like this is very important because it's going to help push our students to open their minds, all right, and know how to communicate with each other in a diverse population and know how to interact socially in a very positive manner to help with creating a more diverse and positive and well-rounded student population in our school. Thank you very much.